Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hockey Morning in Michigan. Yeah, I can see why they went with Hockey Night in Canada. Way better ring to it. Anyway, let's talk about Game 3, thrice, of the Stanley Cup Final, which took place last night, June 13th, 2024. It's Florida at Edmonton. Florida came in with a 2-0 series lead. First period, I was getting to that point where I was not ready to write no goals, so I'm like, okay, that joke's kind of just dumb way I actually wrote down the relevant thing that happened in the period, which is that Edmonton had 2 power plays, and lots of zone time. And McDavid and Draisaitl were pretty much on the ice the entire time for both those power plays. And the second one, I don't think Florida even got out of the zone. Edmonton had all of the opportunities. Bobrovsky had 2 huge saves, one apiece in each of those power plays as well. Yeah, it was interesting. Mind you, this is the first period. And then to end the first period, we get offsetting minors, so we end up 4-4 for the last minute and 30. Mind you, still scoreless game, obviously. Excusez-moi for the French Canadians. Anyway, with 1:02 remaining in the first period, there's a goal from Florida, Sam Reinhart. Nice tip-in deflection on a hard pass from Barkov off the rush on the 4-on-4. Which again, 4-on-4, I was expecting potentially to have to write down Edmonton goal. We all know 4-on-4 favors Edmonton. Like, there was a pretty famous incident either, I think, Game 2, where they were going to call offsetting, they'd call offsetting penalties, and Paul Maurice, Florida, was not happy. Not want to play 4-on-4. And I think that's what Edmonton scored that game. Yeah. So, anyway. I could be wrong, though. My memory does fade after 2 days. I forgot there was a 2-day break because the 2,000-plus mile travel distance. Although games like 4 about, the later games in the series I think would still only be a day, but I don't know. I didn't look at the full schedule. I assumed it was every other day. Anyway, but I had extra day off yesterday. It's like, oh, no hockey tonight. Okay. Other stuff to do. Obviously, I'm still on this set. Long story. Clearly, it's not gonna. Well, we'll see. Let's finish the game here. Okay. Second period. All right, my little intermission ramble. All right. Second period. Early on in the second, 18:11 left, so a little less than 2 minutes into the second. Edmonton will tie it up. Immediate response there. Good for them. From Fogle. Pass that was picked off in the neutral zone kind of led to a breakaway. And I say kind of because he had back check on him the end. Like, once he crossed the blue line with that puck, Fogle had back check on him hard. So, under pressure, too, gets the shot off above the pad, below the glove on Bobrovsky, actually beats him clean. Excellent shot. Not seen much of that in these playoff series. People beating Bobrovsky cleanly like that. So, that is a 1-1 tie game. We have some hockey. Alrighty. And it's like that most of the second, honestly. And it's just a lot of good defensive hockey from both teams. So, and this was a game where, again, we saw Edmonton running, because Kane was officially a scratch at this point for Edmonton, so that didn't really help their line combos. So we saw a lot of kind of shaking up a lot. But yeah, a lot of McDavid and Draisaitl all ice time together. I mean, power play, like I said, those 2 power plays in that first period, I don't think they left the ice. Second one, I know they didn't, for sure. First one, they may have changed. Like, there was a clear late on the first one. I know Florida changed some people on that clear. I don't know if Edmonton did. Anyway, that kind of game. All right. So, with that said, to set the stage for what's about to happen, with 10:48 remaining, about a little halfway remaining left in the game there, goal on the board from Florida, Tarasenko. This one comes off Skinner kind of misplaying the puck behind the net, and he can't quite get back into position. So it's not a freebie per se for Tarasenko, but it ends up pretty close. So just typical Karam puck gets something in the zone behind the net. Skinner plays it fine. Just it wasn't like he mishandled it per se. It's just he played it out. It got picked up by Florida. He made a high danger kind of pass. Went one way, probably should have went the other. Just one of those kind of quick choices, I would think. I didn't break it down a lot, like look at that time. I only remember a vague memory. And yeah, by the time the puck got back out or was back out in play, he was out of position and couldn't get quite back in position on that. He was close, very close. It would have been a spectacular save if he made it, but he didn't, and so Florida goes up 2-1. And then with 6 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the second period, Florida scores again, this time from Bennett. A nice feed from Tkachuk, and just snipe top left. I think they might have a partial screen there on that one, but still. 3-1 now for Florida. And after that goal, I have a little note in my notes. I'll cover up bottom so that way you can't see what happens next, but you probably can't read that, and I'm not going to read it well. Yeah. See what that says? I can't read my terrible handwriting. I just wrote maybe end of series underline, because it kind of felt like that after that third goal. This game, I'm like, I don't think Edmonton's coming back in this one. And then statistically, you know what that means. So we'll get to that though. Because 4:29, another goal. Also from Florida. This time from Barkov. Nice breakout play. Breakup play one-on-one. I can't read half my notes or something. Oh yeah, yeah. Barkov was come more or less one-on-one with Bobrovsky. Again, not quite as a defense because there was sort of a defender there, just not next to him. So it was again also kind of a clean shot that was just sniped hard left. Again, kind of the same area the Bennett goal came from previously. And so with that, it's a 4-1 Florida lead. And as was pointed out on broadcast, because those two, the third and fourth goals were scored so quickly, there was 91 seconds from it being a 1-goal game at 2-1 to being 4-1 because of those two goals. So, with that, we will go to this. With a minute 52 left in the second, we go to a 4-on-4, which again, I normally don't markate down like penalties and special team stuff. In this series, and especially this game, I have been, because it feels like a critical factor. And then with 20 seconds left about 20 seconds left in the period, there's a penalty on Ekblad, then it turns into a 4-on-3. For the last 20 seconds on the, and then the second there. Nothing major. I'm noting it because it's gonna bleed over into the start of the third period. That's why I knew it might be maybe important. Who knows? It's not, because obviously once the 4-on-4 is over, like it was one of those situations where Edmonton had a power play and then it went to a 4-on-4, so then it reverted back to their power play when the 4-on-4 was over. One of those deals. I forget. I think Edmonton had like a minute 30 something a power play to start the period, maybe, or was that the first period? I don't know. No, second. That was whatever. Either way, didn't matter because nothing the notes on that one. However, a little later on, with 13:58 remaining in the third period, Edmonton is making it a game. Broberg, it's actually shot wide of the net, but hits Mikkola in front and bounces in. So there is another way to beat Bobrovsky. bounce it off a defenseman in the front of the net when he can't even. Literally from the angle that Broberg shot that at, yeah, there's no way. And it wasn't an intentional bank shot. It was intended to be like a top corner snipe that was going wide, and since Miguel was right there defending, it hit him in the arm or back, and bounced right in the net. So a little bit of puck luck, but hey, Edmonton will take it at this point. Let's make it a 4-2 game. And then with 5 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the third period, Edmonton may really start to make it a game. McLeod with the goal there. It was a Kulak wrister from the point that was deflected by McLeod in front of Bobrovsky. Never saw it. Perfect stream, perfect deflection. Excellent play there. And goal. Like, nice shot by Kulak. Even nicer deflection on McLeod, obviously. And it's 4-3 Edmonton. But time in the third period is dwindling in what is now a 1-goal game. Because yes, we're looking at the rare McMahon. I don't think they brought the stat up. There's not been a 3-goal third period comeback the entire 2024 playoffs. So take this with a grain of salt of what's going on. Yeah, because you'll notice, other than earlier when I was talking about ice time in those power plays, neither McDavid nor Draisaitl's name has come up here yet, and that's probably not good for Edmonton. I don't talk a lot about the thumbnail process because it's just scattered in my brain here. I planned, even as this game was starting, of like, I want to just isolate McDavid and put him in the thumbnail pregame or locker or something, because this game very much is a must-win for Edmonton. And when you're in that situation, and playoffs, let alone the Stanley Cup final, your best player's got to be your best player. And McDavid was trying tonight. There's no one's going to shun him for lack of effort at all. But anyway, 1:30 remaining. That's about when Skinner gets got out of the net. Edmonton does get some more chances off that last minute and a half. Bobrovsky made, again, like 2 or 3 big saves. Skinner made some good ones too in this game. It wasn't all one-sided, although it kind of felt that way in terms of the goaltending and the quality shots. I didn't look at the advanced stats, but I'm assuming. But yeah, a lot of, I'd say a good 20 seconds, 25 seconds of that remaining 1:30 man advantage from the empty net. There was a pretty big scrum in Florida's zone in the corner that kills off a lot of that clock. Enough of it to deny Edmonton any more chances on Bobrovsky, at least. And yeah, the puck gets cleared out, and that is it on the game. It is 4-3 final on Florida. They take a 3-0 series lead. And since I've been doing this for the final at least, my MVP pick for this game actually for once did not line up with any one of the 3 stars, let alone the first one. Because my pick for MVP this game is Bobrovsky. I look back at that first period and the 2 big saves he made in those Edmonton power plays. Again, Bobrovsky doesn't make those saves. This is a whole different game that Edmonton probably wins. So, I believed Barkov was actually named the first star of this game. I think he had a goal and assist, so 2 points. Yay for him. Bob, not even one of the 3 stars, despite being 32 saves on 35 shots, still a .914 save percentage. But yeah, not one of the 3 stars. Didn't prevent Edmonton from getting in this game. They kept playing catch up the whole time, and that is entirely Bobrovsky. Well, not entirely Bobrovsky. Both teams, Florida especially, but Edmonton too. Like, they both had amazingly good penalty kills. I think we've only seen 1 power play goal in the entire series, and that was in Game 2 from Florida. And even that one might have been kind of a fluke. Both penalty kills have been excellent. I said earlier, this is special teams. But anyway, since we're in this situation now, and they actually brought this up late in the third period because they're jerks, but to be fair, this was well after my note of when it was 3-1. I thought it might be the end of the series before it was 4-1. Anyway, after all that on broadcast, they did bring up the numbers. And I did some extra research on my own. I'm like, do you think I know one of the teams that was involved in this? Yes, I believe. And this one I didn't write down right away because I didn't think it was relevant, so it really isn't. I think all time in the playoffs, teams down 3-0 or teams that are up 3-0, I should say. Phrase that wrong. Are 206-4. I could be wrong about the 4, and that may not be. Those numbers may not be including the Stanley Cup Final because those numbers are the ones I wrote down. That's what's relevant here. In the Stanley Cup Final, team that's up 3-0 is 27-1. Happened once. There was one reverse sweep in the Stanley Cup Final. In 1942, the two teams involved, Toronto and Detroit. Detroit was on the receiving end of that reverse sweep, by the way. You look at the box scores for that series. Game 4 that Detroit lost was a 1-goal game. And after that, it fell apart for them and they got blown. They lost, yeah. So, it's happened once ever in the final. In 28 attempts, or 28 of those scenarios. Ironically, 2 of which, at least in 96-97, Detroit would be involved in back-to-back sweeps, Philly and Washington. So they made up for it. And they also made up for it the following year, because that was 1942. Detroit played Boston for the Stanley Cup in 1943 and won. So, maybe sunnier days for Edmonton next year. And yes, we're already kind of having that conversation because it's now a 3-0 series. Game 4 is Saturday, June 15th, which is, I'm recording this Friday, so that's tomorrow. We'll see. Obviously, at this point, Edmonton is fighting an uphill battle against history and statistics. It would take a miracle from the hockey gods. But that third period, Edmonton looked like a team that can make this a series, potentially. They just have to carry that momentum into Game 4 and win. I don't care how, it doesn't matter how, it doesn't be decisive or block, just have to win that game. They have to look at that one game at a time. That's how they got to approach it, if they're going to have any chance in this one. And they better win at least one game, otherwise this whole jersey gag does not work. There's a clue as to what it is. Not the jersey itself, team colors, you'll be able to figure it out. But why I'm wearing what jersey I was going to wear for each game. See, now it just seems weird because I'm wearing the same thing every game. So people will start to figure out the pattern just on that. Alright. Those are my notes. I'll be back for Game 4. Not on the new set's not done yet. I'm sorry. I've been trying. I've been very busy. If you've seen the channel, you saw I put up 2 hour-and-a-half videos in the last, or this week, earlier this week. So yeah, it's a little busy. I apologize. Set obviously is not going to be probably ready for even, Saturday could be the last game of the year. So. I will say now, advanced spoiler warning. If Game 4 is the last game of the series and Barkov raises the cup, that will be in the thumbnail. So, normally I present these in a way where you don't really know who won until I go through it. So it's sort of spoiler-free in a way. It's just how I did the format. It wasn't really a conscious choice, just sort of happened that way. Anyway, we're about 20 minutes, which is enough time to recap this game. You don't even need this much time. I'm sure the hockey guy went through all the major plays, and I think I didn't watch any. I actually have yet. I need to catch up on Shannon's stuff. I haven't seen any of his coverage. I saw his series preview, I think, but I haven't seen his reviews and recaps of the first 3 games yet. I'm curious as at what point, after what goal, that he called the series, if it was one, because our brains work kind of alike, but very differently at times, so we'll have the same thoughts sometimes, just at different times, and so I need to go look at his stuff. But yeah, I know all of his reviews and recaps for all 3 Stanley Cup Final games have not been nearly this long. So, and I'm not even going over you know, wait, that's going to be backwards on camera, so it would be this side. Yes. I don't have a whiteboard here. I'm not going over, like, the major events of the game. Well, this one I did a little more of talking about the first. Again, that power play. It was really surprising after that first ended that Edmonton didn't score. I think, again, they had or a couple of great chances. Two at least that Bob Rossi just stole from them. Like, that's what I said. I named him MVP, and yeah. He's well on his way, I think, to Conn Smythe this year. It seems that way. Even if okay, well, now circumstances are different. If the Edmonton pulls off the miracle comeback, obviously, you'll have to look at who their point scorers were. But like I said earlier about your best players got to be your best players. And you heard me mention Barkov and Kachuk. Kachuk had a nice assist earlier. And Tarasenko earlier. And Reinhardt. So right there, I just named what Florida's top 6 forwards. Well, then defensemen, you know. I think. Ekblad came up. That's because of the penalty on the thing. Yeah, and then for Edmonton, you notice where the goals came from there. McLeod, Broberg, and Fogel. Yeah. Not no mention of other than what I thought power plays. David, Draisaitl, Hyman. I know Kane's out with the stretch. With his multiple two injuries. He probably shouldn't have played last game, but yeah, it's the final. It happens. But my point stands. Your best players got to be your best players, and this game especially, I thought that the leadership there in Edmonton, in terms of their players on the team, the roster. I'm not talking about the management or coaching, but on the ice, they need to step up. And they tried. I think they did try, but they just got shut down. Either by Florida's defense, particularly Florida's penalty killing. And if they could get through any of that, Bobrovsky then would generally stop them. Although, to be fair, I know McDavid, his first shot on goal, I think the first shot of the game even, I know McDavid's first shot on goal. Very nice shot. Was that a partial breakaway at least? Had a very nice shot and did shoot it nice and high because it seems like Edmonton hadn't really been doing that the first 2 games, even though we all know the book on Bobrovsky, you got to shoot up here. But he's one of the best down low in the league right now, currently playing. I don't know about all the time, but currently. And yeah, it's no, McDavid did shoot high and hit Bobrovsky in the left shoulder, or glove side shoulder. So. Oh, and one of those 2 saves I should point out on the power play, I think it was that second power play, Bobrovsky's kind of big save, was an amazing glove save, but not the flashy kind. Not the Patrick Wall, like I'm going to whoop and, that whole thing. It was a shot that hit the big blocker part of the gloves right here, like right at the top of it. The part that's there to protect your wrist, actually, from pucks hitting it. Hit that and bounced out. Technically still a glove save. Didn't hold on to it, but I think that might have been from a Bouchard shot from the point too. So because I don't know if it was a Bouchard shot, but upon the replay, you can see the flex on how hard that puck hit too. So that one was lucky to stay out. And again, if it had been a little bit higher, I think it may have hit and gone in, but just enough on it. And Bobrovsky just in the right spot to keep that one out. So saves like that aren't going to show up on highlight reels. Probably. Because I don't look great. But as a goaltender, I'm like, that was one of his best saves of the night. Although, in this case, it wasn't. Bobrovsky had an amazing game. How he does not get for... whatever. Again, I mentioned his stats earlier. 32 saves and 35 shots. 914 save percentage. Then this is the first game in a while. And one of the rare, if only games maybe in the entire playoff run where he's allowed more than 2 goals. So, there's that. And yeah, not his fault. I read to you out what happened with deflections. So. Not on Bobrovsky. And I do think he is barreling his way headfirst to a Conn Smythe. short of, again, some miracle Edmonton comeback. But we'll see what happens. But right now, the whole hockey world, all these analysts that get paid a lot of money because they don't know a lot about hockey. Even the armchair analysts like myself that sit here at home pretend to know a lot about hockey. Looks like all of us are wrong. We all predicted this being a long series, and it's looking like a potential sweep. If not, maybe Edmonton can get a game in Game 4. After that, we could be in for a 5-game series. Who knows? So, with that said, I'm out. I'll be back covering next game. And I got other stuff cooking in between there, so don't worry. One of which is working on the set still, trust me. No idea. You only see one little tiny angle. I rotated this camera around, kids. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm out. I'll be back Saturday. Or probably Sunday morning, Saturday night. I don't know. It's random when I decide to record these. You can probably tell from the excess light from this direction, there's some sunlight coming in. So it's the morning, obviously. Actual proper morning. Oh, look, it's coming in real good now. I have too many other lights on, you can't see it. I'll probably notice it in edit, but... And by edit, I mean where I trim off the part where I turn the camera off. That's literally what I edited out. 98% of the time, the only edits are after I go, alright everyone, we're out, peace, and then I reach and turn the camera off. So, I almost did it now to fake you out. That would have been weird, wouldn't it? I'm still going. So I was going to wrap up 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes ago almost now. I don't know. Just feels like the playoffs are over. They're not, though. We still have potentially several more games to go. But, man, it does not seem... I cannot say Edmonton is playing bad. They're not. Both teams are playing great. Florida's just playing that much better. Overall, from top to bottom. Again, mostly... This series has come down... I think it's called it in Game 1, maybe. Special teams and goaltending, and... I think Florida's got the only power play goal in Game 2, and that one, yeah, so. And, yeah. Because I would give, obviously, no matter what, goaltending-wise, you're going to get the edge to Bobrovsky over Skinner. And special teams-wise, wow, that was the matter of, the Edmonton power play and the Florida penalty kill. This is, unstoppable force, movable object. What's going to budge? It looks like the Edmonton power play is just not going to get through that wall. As good as that power play is, or had been up until the Dallas series. So there's that. And we can, boy, I'm sure people are already dissecting Edmonton's season, even though it's not over yet, but it kind of feels over. So, pressure is on now. Both the coaching staff and the players there to kind of keep a level head and not think about the hole they're currently in and history there with 27-1. One team's pulled this off, and that was back in 1942. So, very different game and different league back then. In the modern era, again, small miracle. I'm repeating myself at this point, which longer videos tend to do. But hey, whatever. I mean, this might be one of the last times I have a chance to talk about a hockey game, and not just hockey, for the next several months of the off season. So I'm taking advantage of it. Whatever. So that's it. There's a lot of news roundup I need to do on some off-season stuff, league-wide, but separate video. I made this one too long. It's already too long, so. Alright, I'm gonna go, because I got other things to go and do and whatnot, so. I'm out. Peace.